everybody. Thanks for stopping in with our final update of the severe weather that has been moving through the southeastern United States. I wanted to come on here for a couple of minutes and kind of put a bow on the last 2 days. This tornadic outbreak that started yesterday on St. Patrick's Day continued into today, but on a much lesser form. And we are still tracking some weather tonight, but the picture looking a lot better for you. So I've got all the social medias up. I've got Matt Hyland driving the bus, and we'll get you going here and tell you what we can expect. I wanted to let you know cumulatively what happened over the last 2 days. So all told, when we talked about severe weather reports, there was 208 severe weather reports. Of those, about 29 were confirmed tornadoes on the ground. Most of those, 28 of those, were yesterday. We had one confirmed today. There was about 69 hail reports and about 110 wind reports and over 200 severe thunderstorm warnings in these 2 days. So there was a lot of weather to get to over these last 36 hours, but the good news is most of this weather has pushed out. There is still a fair amount of wind to deal with at this hour. The low-level jet has really been ramping up the winds across the southeastern part of the country and through the mid-Atlantic states. So what I wanted to show you first is a piece of video. It's a ring video that was out of Mississippi from yesterday, and this is when they were dealing with a severe warned storm. And you'll see here, if we'll watch it for a few seconds, about 20 seconds into this video, you'll see that there was a massive burst of wind when we saw some of those higher winds come crashing through the front porch of this home. And again, there was several reports of tornadoes in Mississippi. A bulk of those were in Alabama, where there was also 2 injuries from some of these tornadic storms. So again, there has been a lot of weather that we've been having to keep up with over these last 2 days or so. So let's take a look at what's going on live across the southeast. I've got 5 radars up. I've got one in Florida because there is some storms I'm watching south of the Tampa Bay area, and then I've got some storms I'm watching up in the Carolinas. So Matt, if you want to go ahead and take the WSI full, we'll take a look at what's going on with some of these storms. So I'm going to quickly take a look down in Florida. So just south of Tampa, and south of the Orlando area, there has been some of these storms that we've been tracking. So I'll do a quick track on this. These storms have not been super impressive, at least over the last couple of hours. But as I kind of pull our 3D volume scan there, which again, I think I'm having some troubles with this. I think it's not, obviously this storm is higher than 10,000 square feet, but, or 10,000 feet, I should say. But for some reason that's not working. But I wanted to at least show you that there is some hail in this particular storm that's southeast of the Tampa Bay area. And then I'm going to grab the velocity tracker here as well, and I'll put this on, and this will kind of show us if there's anything that's been going on in this particular cell. We obviously know that there's hail there, so there might be a little bit more to this particular cell, but at the particular moment, that doesn't appear to be the case. And actually, that's not going to do it. So I'll go back to that map in a second and see if I can get that to work. But here's what is left in terms of the severe weather that we could be seeing tonight. So there's just now a level 2 out of 5 for that slight risk for parts of Virginia into North Carolina and a little bit of South Carolina. So most of the enhanced risk and the at one point moderate risk that we had today has all been changed from the Storm Prediction Center based on the fact that the presentation of these storms has eroded away and has become less organized in structure and less organized in intensity. The atmosphere has also had some changes where we originally thought we were going to get some big concerns with rotation that turned out to be little lesser of a fact as we headed into today. But look at all those tornadoes that pop up on your screen. Again, 29 tornadoes between yesterday and today, about 70 reports of hail and over 110 wind reports, so winds higher than 60 miles an hour. And there, of course, were subsequent power outages. At one point, we had a couple 100,000 people without power in the southeast yesterday. Primarily, that was in Mississippi, Alabama, and a little bit of Louisiana. Much better today. This morning, the biggest outbreak of no power was in Alabama. They had about 15,000 people without power this morning, but the crews have been working super hard to get everybody back online. So here's a look at the radar, and we've got this looping over the last hour, and you can still see our spin here in the atmosphere. So I'll grab the pointer here, or actually I'm going to grab telestrator, and here is our low. There's a surface low right about in there, and it continues to drive the storms and pushing everything towards the east and the northeast like this, and we still have some pretty decent thunderstorms there off of Maryland and then up into New Jersey, New York. You're getting some light rain, but you might see some of these heavier embedded storms come in on the backside of this as we head through these next couple hours. But I don't think there's going to be a ton of that left for you guys, but I do think that there's still going to be opportunity for some weather as we head through tomorrow. But it's going to be more of a wintry mix, because you can see there's some snow already in western New York and western Pennsylvania. And I think we're going to see a little bit more of that as we head through the overnight. So we talked about this last weekend when I was covering this storm, when it was coming out of the Rockies, that this was a two-pronged event, that there was a lot of winter weather behind it. Ahead of it was the severe weather. And we're still seeing some of that winter weather as we head into tonight and tomorrow. So there's gale warnings. That's not necessarily winter weather, but there's definitely gale warnings for those areas in that lightish pale pink, and that extends from North Carolina all the way up into Maine. And that's generally not a concern unless you live along the immediate coast. But there are a lot of people, these are big cities, where there could be some concern. So there has already been, if you've seen on social media, a lot of erosion to some of the beaches there. There has been a lot of flooded out conditions. We saw a lot of video out of South Carolina today where there was just flooded streets, again, from those waves crashing over the banks of the seawalls there and creating some problems. I have some of that video I'll show you in the fast forecast tomorrow. But there's still a tornado watch, just that small little chunk there of North Carolina and South Carolina. So again, be vigilant through tonight. Please remember that there are some of these isolated storms that could have some rotation, have a little bit of spin in the atmosphere, and those could produce some of those short-lived tornadoes. So we're not out of the woods, but there's in those two spots, but it's looking a lot better for the rest of the country for the remainder of tonight. Look at the swath, those little streaks of heavy rain that we got across parts of Alabama and Georgia last night. Some of those totals are well over 5 inches. You may have heard about some of the water rescues that were going on yesterday. There were several people stuck in their cars trying to evacuate, again, going through flooded out streets, which is not a good thing. You're always told, turn around, don't drown, because you get stuck, and that's exactly what happened. And there was multiple people that had to have rescues last night, and even a few this morning, but not as many. So again, the most of the intense weather was, again, late afternoon yesterday into the early evening. Then things quieted down a little bit, and we have seen that trend continue. But this has turned into today more of a hail and a wind event over the last 24 hours or so. So or the last 18 hours or so. So here's a look at Futurecast. Take a look at that. So look at the winter weather that we're still going to get as we head into tomorrow. So freezing rain, snow, and there's still some moderate to heavy rain left over for the Carolinas. So the Carolinas have had some periods of very heavy rain, and they've had some breaks, and then they've had another round of strong thunderstorms, and you're still going to see some of this tomorrow. So we're still going to get that mix, especially in Virginia, and there will be some times here will be very difficult to navigate along the roads, because depending on how persistent the freezing rain tries to stick to the ground and become ice is yet to be seen. But I think there could be some slick pockets. I don't think we're going to see widespread ice, but I think we're going to definitely see some more difficult driving conditions, and there's going to be some snow as well. So keep that in mind tomorrow morning for your commute. You know, Fridays tend to be busier anyways, because it's right at the weekend and it's spring break. So just remember that you might have a little bit more difficulties navigating around tomorrow due to that last surge of weather we're going to get tomorrow morning. By tomorrow night, everything's looking good across the southeast, in the mid-Atlantic, up into the northeast. System moves out of here, a couple of residual showers across parts of Georgia and Alabama, but that should be about it. And here's a look at how that all plays out. So there's a nice break from the very rough start to the week that we've been, again, this event started last weekend in the Front Range and then in the Rockies. So we watched this for about 5 to 6 days. So thankfully, things are much quieter as we head through tonight and into tomorrow. So no big, huge weather systems that we're going to be concerned with as we head through the next 24 hours or so. and even into the weekend. So let me take this back to the radar real quick. Again, there's not a lot that I wanted to cover, just to let you know that we're starting to see, again, the trend get much better. The severe weather threat has waned, but we are in severe season, you guys, and I know you know that. And will be more times in these coming weeks that we will be dealing with severe weather, but at least for now, the picture looking a lot better than what we saw. And I see Sandy Rose is up on YouTube. So Sandy, a quick shout out to you. She's one of our loyal YouTube followers that is watching this late tonight at 11 o'clock on a Thursday night here in Orlando. So another reminder, by the way, if you have not checked out our channel, please do. We have all kinds of content on there, not just strictly weather. We have space exploration on there. We have of course, a lot of weather content. We have Star Citizen. There's all kinds of content there you can check out on our YouTube channel. So make sure you check it out, subscribe, and like our videos. And also, please make sure that you're checking us out on all of our platforms across Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, and even TikTok, you guys. We have some content there as well. So I think that's going to do it. I don't think there's probably too many people checking this out tonight because most people know that the threat has passed. But again, we just would like to come back on and give you a live update after that threat has passed to let you kind of know, yep, things are looking good. You're looking much better. It's still going to be a rough night up in the Northeast. You know, you're still dealing with moderate to heavy rain, and there's embedded thunderstorms there. So I know it's not a fun night, and there's going to be winter weather for you tomorrow. But in that terms of that severe weather outbreak that was yesterday and part of today, of course, that scenario has just about played its last note. So that is going to do it for our update, you guys. It is 11:01 here in Orlando, Florida. I want to thank you for watching our coverage today and yesterday. Of course, meteorologist Mike Linden was in carrying things as we were headed into the heart of that severe weather. And we'll continue to have all of our updates. We'll have the fast forecast for you in a couple of hours. I am back in after a couple of days off, and so I'll see you back here tomorrow. And if we have more severe weather underway, we will, of course, bring it to you. But for now, I'm Chief Meteorologist Leslie Hudson from MyRadar. I hope you guys have a fantastic Thursday night, and we will see you here tomorrow. Don't forget, tomorrow's Feel Good Friday. We'll have some good ones for you. Take care.
But it's absolute.